So one thing I noticed some guys do when they start to get a little bit of success, or when they're just a bit immature and I guess young, and they don't really understand, bro, this is yellow light. 1 second, bro, let me sort this out. That'll do. What do you think? You agree? Yeah, that'll do. So when guys start to get a little bit of success, or when they're still a bit young and they're still a bit immature and a bit not evolved mentally, and they have this need to satisfy their ego, and it usually is motivated by external validation rather than internal. Okay, and I've spoke about this concept before in previous videos, but I'll quickly touch on it. You have two sides, I guess you could say, to your confidence. One of them is external, the other one is internal, okay? External is obviously being like, if I say to you, oh bro, like nice jacket, or nice shoes, or, you know, oh, you're a good looking guy, whatever. If I compliment you, that's you, your external confidence is being boosted because I've given you that validation, okay? Now, internal confidence is you know who you are because you're brutally honest with yourself. You know your weaknesses, you know your insecurities, you know your strengths, etc., right? So your internal confidence is basically you saying to yourself, well, I know that I'm a good looking guy, for example, or I know this jacket looks good. Do you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like it's an inner knowing of who you are as a person and what you want out of life. Therefore, you don't really feel the need to be externally validated. Now, obviously, the internal confidence is the most powerful one. That's the one that you should strive to work towards. Now, this just comes from, again, brutal honesty, putting your ego to one side and understanding who you are truly as a person, understanding what your actual insecurities are, what your strengths are, what you're good at, what you're not good at, really just pulling yourself to pieces, I guess is the phrase I could use in an honest way. That is how you truly get confidence. I'm confident in myself internally. The reason I can come on this camera and laugh about my weaknesses and insecurities with you, whereas some people might come on the camera and try and hide it. They'll be desperate to hide it from the world because it's that one thing that is giving them validation, right? So the reason I can do that, however, is because I've done that work of knowing who I am. I've exposed my weaknesses, I've exposed my insecurities, and I'm willing to accept a level of criticism, I guess you could say, to help me to grow, right? So that's just a little starter introduction between external confidence and internal confidence. Now, what I notice a lot of young men doing especially, and I may have been a culprit of this here and there every now and then, I guess you could say, right, is bragging. Now, I don't do this too often. Now, I want to make something very, very clear. When I show off the girls on the YouTube and the watches and the money and stuff like that on YouTube, in the thumbnails and in the YouTube shorts, it's not me bragging. It's simply just to get attention. If you know me in real life, you'll know I probably never ever said anything, unless it's a joke with my boys or something like that, of, oh, you know, yeah, but I'm richer than you, get your money up, you're broke, here, look at my nice watch, I'm like, do you know what I mean? I don't do that shit in real life, in person. It's all just the internet shit, so it gets attention, doesn't it? You looking at nice watches coming up on the screen, flashy diamond chains and stuff like that coming up on the screen, money coming, it gets attention, right? That's the only reason I do it on YouTube. I don't want you to get the wrong impression and think that's okay. Bragging, flexing, all this kind of stuff, it's not professional, it's amateurism, and it shows an insecurity within yourself. It shows that you lack internal confidence because you need the external validation from other people. Oh wow, I like the post, oh look how many likes I'm getting because I've shown off my nice watch, and that's external validation, which is fine. If people give you a compliment or they say they like this about you, cool, take that as energy, use it, you know, fuel your ego for a little bit, whatever it may be, feel good about it. It's nice, of course. I'm not trying to tell you to never ever accept a compliment or accept external validation. It's a good tool for you to use, but don't rely on it. That's the point. So when you do meet somebody and they are bragging, my mate, and the reason I'm making this video is because my mate does this sometimes, and I'm not sure if he's being serious or this is just, I'm probably just joking. But he'll come in the group chat and he's like, oh, look at this bird I just fucked, or whatever. You know, this bird wants me, this bird wants me. And he speaks like that. Yeah, this bird, look at this bird I just fucked. And he's like basically bragging about these girls that he's fucked, and he's showing off nudes of the girl and stuff like that. And like, you know, I don't really care. I don't really pull him up upon it because, you know, he knows how I feel about this kind of stuff. And we just kind of joke. We kind of just insult each other. That's our friendship, basically. So I'll be like, bro, you sure you didn't like boys? I swear, like, you know, you're not gay, are you? Do you know what I mean? Like, we'll joke about this kind of stuff. Lads banter, basically. And, but it made me think, you know, some people genuinely do this seriously. Like, they're seriously like, look at this girl I fucked, as if anyone cares. Because, newsflash, no one cares. No one gives a shit. When you're bragging and you're showing off all your money, or showing off, you know, like the rich, spoiled kids. There was a guy in my gym that used to do this, and he's like, oh yeah, but my dad has this car and I've got this, and I've been at school with people that do this as well. They're always the rich kids that are born into it, that don't value money, that brag. I've got this and I've got that and I've got this and I've got the new PlayStation 5. Like, no one gives a shit. No one cares. You just look like a knobhead, right? And it's the same with girls, it's the same with money, it's the same with success. Don't brag about it. When I come on the camera and I tell you about the things that I've done, it's not to brag. And I hope it comes across in that way. I always even say afterwards or before, I don't say this to brag. I'm saying it to show you what's possible. I'm saying it because I never used to be that guy. And I'm trying to inspire you to open your mind to what is possible so you can believe in yourself as well, right? This is why I show you and tell you about the things that I've done. I don't come on the camera and be like, yeah, bro, well, I fucked this 10 out of 10 girl and she had massive tits. Because you don't care. You don't give a shit, do you? You really don't. And also, me bragging like that just makes me look like a knobhead, okay? So, don't brag about girls that you've slept with. Don't brag about money that you've made. Don't brag about success. Don't brag about none of this stuff. If somebody asks you and they genuinely want advice or they genuinely want to know and you feel comfortable telling them, then yeah, cool, of course. Then you can conversate about it. But for the most part, unless it's like a really deep conversation with your friend or something, you know, or you know, you're someone that you're close with, don't go around spreading this stuff. Because number one, no one cares. You're actually just making yourself a target more than anything, to negativity, to hate. But also, it doesn't really give a good image to you in terms of your reputation. You look like a bit of an amateur. You look like a bit of a bit of a beg, I guess is the word I could use. You know, like if somebody asks me, oh, how many girls have you slept with? I joke, I'm a virgin, bro. I don't know. I'm a virgin. Never had sex before. There was a guy in a chippy shop once. I was in Sheffield with my boys, and it was after a night out. And, you know, I was high on life at this point. I wasn't even drunk. I was completely sober, but I was high on life. I was, you know, in the flow socially. Walked into this chippy shop, and there was this black guy with his girl. I don't know if it's his girl. I don't know if this guy was gay or something, but whatever. A guy and a girl walked in. They were really drunk. And the guy was like, oh, bro, you're like beautiful, bro. I bet you pull loads. I bet you pull loads. You got the tattoos, you got the jawline, you got the blue eyes. I bet you pull loads. And he was bigging me up, like, in front of this girl. He was just trying to have a laugh with me. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm a virgin. I don't know what you're on about. I've never pulled before. I've got no riz, you know what I mean? I was just joking along with him. But it's that humorous kind of, the ability to laugh at yourself and the ability to kind of play down what it is that you actually do that shows confidence. How much confidence does that show? If somebody disses me and I'm like, yeah, I'm a virgin, bro, I don't know what you're on about. Or someone's like, oh, you got a small dick, and I'm like, yeah, bro, it's only 2 inches, hard. You know what I mean? Like, if you're, it's not. But if you have the ability to joke about these kind of things, it shows a level of internal confidence that people envy. People want that, right? And this is why, because if somebody asks me, like, how many girls have you slept with? Oh, I'm a virgin. Don't know, mate. Or, you know, oh, I do all right for myself, you know. Rather than like, oh, yeah, well, I fucked this girl and I've got a body count of 126. Because nobody cares, number one. Number two, you're making yourself look like a knobhead. Number three, it shows you, and this is like a personal development kind of thing, that you have no internal confidence if you feel the need to just splurt out bullshit that no one actually cares about, right? Like, unless they actually ask, like, no, give me the specific number. Okay, 126, whatever, right? Then, yeah, tell them. But for the most part, just joke about it. Just joke around, laugh at yourself, kind of give them a playful answer instead. How much money have you got? Oh, I'm broke, bro, I don't know. Minus 200? No idea. Can't even afford shoes. Like, just have a bit of a joke about it, right? No point bragging, no point going on the internet and bragging. When I'm on the camera and talking to you, I barely ever brag. I'll tell you about things in detail, in transparent detail, so you understand, so you know the realities of the world. But I'm not going to sit there and just come on the camera and be like, yeah, bro, so I fucked 37 girls and this one was a 10 out of 10 porn star and this one was a model, because you don't care. Let me reiterate my point again. Let me make this very, very clear. When I show off watches and money and success and this kind of stuff in my YouTube shorts and in my thumbnails, it is purely entertainment purposes, let's call it. It is purely to get attention, which it does very well of doing, right? Every single time I do that, the videos do well. It's the internet, you got to play the game. But me as an individual, and what I preach to you, what I want you to learn from my mistakes, is just don't brag. It just doesn't make you look cool. The guy that brags about how many girls he's getting probably doesn't get laid very much, right? Probably, he might have pulled 2 girls in the club once and got the number, but they never replied to him, and now he thinks he's a big shot because, I got the numbers though. Those are the kind of dickheads that brag. Individuals that are really about it, they don't brag. I'm a virgin. Because they don't care. They don't need the external validation. They know what they're about. They know who they are. And it's the same with fighting as well. That's another one I noticed. Guys that can't fight, guys that can't defend themselves. You know, you get the annoying dickhead in school or in work or something, he's always near you. Do you know what I mean? His annoying energy is always near you. Well, bro, one time I got in a street fight, I knocked the guy out and clean. Just no one gives a shit. Go away from me. You clearly didn't do that, did you? Because you won't be bragging about it if you did, right? It's the same with fighting. Same thing. A guy that with money, yeah, I made 10k last month. No, you didn't. Shut up. You wouldn't be telling people if you did. Believe me, you wouldn't. You wouldn't want attention on you for making that kind of money. Unless it was going to benefit you to the point where, like, you know, you're selling a course or a coaching session teaching people how to do the same thing. Guys that are just in the gym bragging about making 10k a month, no, you didn't. Unless you're my mate and you're telling me, oh, bro, like, you know, I did really well last month. Yeah, I made like 10k. And you want me to congratulate you or something like that, that's fair enough. But just randomly bragging to people that don't know who you are, or just to people in general, just try and tone that down a little bit. You know what I mean? That's all I have to say. Coaching's down below. Sexual mastery courses down below. Look after yourself. See you soon. Bye.